Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a block that is also from the Christmas quilt along, the 12 blocks of Christmas. It's called Box. So we're going to do it in the 14-inch Harry Potter block. So this is my little bin. I got these little bins at Walmart. I don't know, like $2.50. They're great. I got a bunch of them. They store all my separate little projects. As you can see, it's not very neat in there, but that's okay because it doesn't have to be. So I picked these two fabrics for this though. So we're going to do half square triangles again. We're going to need 3, 6, 7 of them. No, we're not. 8 of them. And then we're going to need one of the red piece that is 5 by 5. So we're going to start with that. Actually, we're not. Since this is even on this end, we're going to cut off. This is how I cut it, you guys. And it could stand an iron, but I'm not going to worry about it. Where's my ruler? I moved everything around. I used to have this quilting thing behind me that held everything, but I don't have it there now. So I'll have to make do. So we're going to cut these at 5.5 inches. Let's make some room here. 5.5, because we want our half square triangles to be 5 inches. So we have to start with 5.5. If you are not comfortable with that, start a little bigger. No shame. Actually, we're going to line up this top thing here that's even with our line. So down here it'll get just a hair bigger. Not a big deal. We're going to trim it at the end anyway. So we need, how many did I say? We need 8 of them. So we're going to cut 2 of these. We need 8 half square triangles. So we only need 4 5.5 inch squares, which we will get from this. Put that back in the bucket there. We'll hold off on that. I'll get a smaller ruler for that. I think I had a few of you say you like to see the whole process, so I'm just going to cut on camera for some of them. Some of them are a little too much to cut on camera, so we're not going to do it for all of them, but we will for some. So if you iron it, it'd be easier, but whatever. Do whatever feels right for you. So again, we're going to just line up this bottom one here on this one, which is what we've done. And we're going to cut 2 of it also. You could also cut each square individually, but I'm all about minimal effort, we'll call it. And if you can do it faster together, why not? Alright, we'll put that back. Now we're going to put this one up. We will get our smaller one that's easier to work with. And we'll just start here. Now we need 8 of them, or 4 of them at 5.5. So this should line up pretty good, and then you just line up your 5.5 point and your 5.5 lines, and we'll slice down through. Yeah, a new one wouldn't be enough, and I could have just cut another one off, but the truth is I'll probably need it for the rest of another block on this quilt anyway, so I thought I'll just go ahead and cut them. Alright, we got those. The only problem with this is, well, I may pause it, but I don't know if you guys like watching me do all the half square triangles and trimming. Some do, some don't. Let me know. It won't be on all of them, but it'll be on some. Same thing here. We're just cutting our 5.5 inch squares, 4 of them, and then we're going to cut 1 down to 5 inches. And that will be our middle square. if you did the Christmas quilt along, you will know that you'll notice that we've done this block before, but we did it in a pretty big size. It was 18.5 inches. So for those of you that don't really do quilt math, I'm going to make the smaller size. And for those of you that do, I apologize for the repeat, but this is where we're at. All right. 5.5. Now, the middle piece is going to just be solid. So I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to use this one. Because then I'll have this piece right here in the middle. And if I did it down there, it would be all over. Which would be fine. Wouldn't hurt anything. It's just not what I want. Alright. It goes back in the bin. This is our middle piece. We're going to lay it to the side. But first we're actually going to iron all our pieces now. Granted, if I wasn't filming this, I probably would have ironed a little bit before. But I am filming, and I don't have much space here. Turn it up. It's not quite warm enough. We'll hold on. It will be fine. So these are going to be our half square triangles, and I'm gonna do them all. If you want to watch. If not, you can fast forward. I will not be hurt from it. Just enough to get the little creases out of them before I sew. There we go. Let's do that one too. See, it got them all good enough. Don't have to do them individually. So now we're going to, again, lay that one to the side. Now we're going to do the half squares, or sewing them. So for that, we're going to mark on our red one, and I just need to make sure it cools down a little because the heat does remove my pen. Let's see if I can find my little ruler. I did. So for that, we are going to do this two different ways. I'll show you both ways. First one, we're going to lay it the 1/4 inch line here from corner to corner, and we're going to draw a line down the middle, down the edge. And then we're going to flip it around, and we are going to do the same thing, the 1/4 inch line, straight down the middle, and draw a line, which honestly is my preferred method. We're going to do that again. That is the most accurate for me. I do have the diagonal seam tape on this machine that I'm sewing on, which helps a little if I didn't even want to draw the lines. But again, for accuracy, this is my go-to. The other one, we are going to draw just one line down the middle. One line straight down, corner to corner. And for that one, you'll sew a 1/4 inch on either side of that line. But like I said, my preferred method is the two, so I'm only going to do that on one, and I'm going to do this double line on all three of the others. I encourage you to try both, and if you have the money to spend on it, try the diagonal seam tape also. I also have a seam guide that I've used in a few videos that you tape to your machine, but it's not on this machine, it's on a different one, and this is what we're doing. So then you just lay them face together. We're going to pin them. Put this one there. This one's the one line. Let me know if y'all are following this series too, if you're making the Harry Potter quilt, or even, I don't know, you could make these blocks out of any fabric. let me know. Let me see pictures on the Facebook page if you'd like. You can post them on Instagram, I guess, and tag me in them. I guess, is that something you can do? I'm not all that savvy with social media. Alright, we're going to go sew these. I'm going to take you with me. Maybe. Alright, and I do have, helps if you turn it on. I do have my 1/4 inch seam foot on here, which I'm not going to take it off. I could, but I don't want to. It's just, it's the same thing for me, so it doesn't really matter. So on the 2 lines, you're just going to sew right down on the line. And if you have the diagonal seam tape, you're just going to follow your stitch line as the red line there. And if you'll notice, my point is right there on the black line as I'm sewing, if you notice that. And for these, I am just going to spin it around and do them all at the same time. Ugh, see, I hate that. No, I'm not. We're just going to go straight through, because then I can use that to pull. I have leverage. Moved a little, but that's okay. See, I pull a little on the back one and it helps pull it through. Now this one is the one line, so you're just going to line your 1/4 inch line. This is a 1/4 inch foot, so you can just line it up right there, that line, and then it's going to automatically have you stitching a 1/4 inch down or over. I probably should change the foot when I'm doing this, but if I was doing a lot of them, I probably would, but there's not too many, so it'll be fine. Just going to cut the other ones apart to go back down through and stitch them again. And then you flip them around, do the same thing. You're just going to stitch right on the line. Don't feel the need to go fast. Go at your own pace. I may sew a little bit faster than some people, or I may sew slower than some people. We're all different. I want y'all to go at your speed. Alright, one more here, and then we'll do the other one that is the single line. And now we're going to line up that stitch line, or that drawn line right there at the 1/4 inch measurement, and we will sew right down. And again, right there, you'll see that that line is right there with the black line. I guess it's black, blue, whatever. So you're sewing, and your sew line is here at the red one. So as long as that matches up, you're good. Alright, let's cut them apart and head back over. So, let's take my pins out. do need to make a few more pin cushions, I think. Need different for different seasons. Have to be festive. So now, you'll see I use green thread on the top, so you'll see it. See how these are just slightly more accurate than the other one. And I just, again, it might be different for you. Yours might be perfect both ways, or just the one line way. I just feel more comfortable doing the other. I mean, obviously I've done them both, and I like to show different techniques. And if you have an idea of something that would work better, let me know. I'm always willing to try it. So to cut them, you just corner to corner and slice right down through. You can also make sure your stitch line there is a 1/4 inch, and that should line up corner to corner, and that should make that other side a 1/4 inch also, if your sewing was on point. So now we're going to iron them open. I'm going to iron to the black fabric, mainly because it's the dark one and I want to. Alright, set the seams. Let's get this. We'll set this on them while I'm doing the rest. Helps a little. Got threads there loose from when I trimmed them apart. I might end up cutting that off, but it'll bug me, so we're going to do it. Did it again. Okay, so now we have to trim them all down to 5 inches. So let's do that. So I'm going to explain it on the first one, maybe the second one, and then I'm just going to do them. So it'll be quiet on my screen, but you can watch. Or fast forward, I don't know, whatever. Oh, I guess I'm not going to explain it. Okay, I'll explain it on the second one. Okay, so we are going to line up the 5 inch, I'm sorry, no we're not. We're going to line up the diagonal line as close to this edge and this edge as possible while you're still trimming just a little bit off. Alright, move that to the side. We'll spin it around. And now we're going to line up the diagonal again, but we're also going to line up the 5 inch point down here, and then the diagonal will line up if I don't move it, and then these two lines will automatically line up, and we will just trim off the excess, and we're done. Now we're going to, same thing, line up the diagonal as close to the edge there as possible. Trim a little off. You shouldn't have much to trim. They say you're only supposed to need like an extra, not even a whole extra 1/2 inch, but I like to be on the safe side. So then you'll line up the 5 point and the diagonal, and that should line up these two lines, because my stitching could be different anytime, and I don't want to have to redo it. Especially since I use the scraps in stuff anyway, so it's not like I'm wasting it. Line up your diagonal as close to this edge as possible. Then you're going to line up your 5-inch point and diagonal, and that'll line up your lines. Same thing, line up the diagonal. And if you look down here, now I trimmed that off, but if you look down here at your 5-inch lines, and there's still some over it on both sides, then you're good. You can trim there, because when you turn it around, then you're going to line up the 5, and all that excess that was over it is what you're going to trim off. So if you line it up and there's not at least 5 inches, you're going to need to adjust it. So if I was going to line up down here, and I wanted to line it up there, this doesn't come to 5 inches then. So then when I turn it around, I'm not going to have a 5-inch block. That's why you want to go as close to this edge as possible, because then you'll know you'll have enough down there when you spin it around to trim them off. Ask me how I know. Actually, don't. I don't want to tell. All right. 2 more to go. And then we just have to put it together. We do a lot of half square triangles here, don't we? I think almost all the blocks I do have half square triangles on them. I am going to be making another blanket quilt, but it's going to be, I'm going to do the whole thing start to finish, but it'll be members only for a while because I can't show it off just yet. Let's line up the 5. Eventually, I might make it for everybody, but not yet. Alright, last one. As close to the edge as possible. Make sure you still have something overlapping your 5. And then we'll line up the 5. Get rid of all these. Excuse me. Now we just have to lay out our block. Now, I had to get my phone out for that, for the picture. This is the middle. So now we are going to go like this. This is directional, but it's not gonna be directional, people, because, well, it's not. We're gonna go like this and line up our outsides first. This. And then we are going to do this. One of these is wrong. This is wrong. There we go. And that. And that. And that. So it is called box. They do all go. I was hoping they would line up like that, but anyways, no guarantee. So now we just have to sew our rows together. So we're just going to do this one, and this one, and then we'll come back for the others. I'm going to take you to the sewing machine with me, just like the last few, and we'll go there, or we'll go from there. So now is when we use our 1/4 inch foot, and you just line it up there. I used to pin these. I used to pin everything, and I still pin a lot. On the bigger things, I pin a lot. These I've gotten more comfortable not pinning them unless there's a seam that has to be matched up on these little squares. But if you are not comfortable with it yet, like right there on that one, can you see that? It's pretty dark. But that corner seam, I refolded one the other way, and I'll iron it in a minute, but I refolded it so it would line up, And since it's at the beginning, I didn't pin it, but if it was down here at the bottom, I would have pinned it. That switched on me. Did you see it? It slipped. Oh well. It'll be alright. Alright, we're going to cut the first piece off and open it up and bring the other one over. And here's where it lines up. So here's where I need to fold the new one the opposite way and pin because it's at the bottom. Alright. Let's get the second one. Fold it open, bring that one over. And then the last one. And this one will not have anything, no seams to line up, so we'll just right down through. Alright, let's do an ender. Snip it off and head back over. So now I am going to cut them apart. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I have to re-iron some of the seams. See this one here, I folded the other way. So we're just going to iron it over. And now we're going to iron it open. And it doesn't matter, there's seams everywhere. So we're just going to iron this one to the outside, which is good because the middle one will go to the inside, which is a flat square, a no seamed square, we'll call it. And then this one I also had to redo. Did a bang up job there. Okay, so now we just lay it back out and make sure it still makes our big windmill looking thing. So then there it is. We're just going to fold this down and pin it. And we just have our regular seams to line up, which are doing pretty good. Well, that's not, I don't know what that is, but it's not right. And one at the end. And we're going to do the beginning. These I like to pin everywhere. Fold that up. We fold this up and then I flip it to pin it because I like to pin with the areas I don't like to pin it with it over here. I like to pin it with it away from me. But again, try whatever you want. Do what you like. I'm just here to show you the pattern, so to speak. Do your techniques. Alright, we're going to head over and sew it up. And again, if I was just sewing, my hand would be here. I'm trying to keep it out of the way, so if it goes crooked on me, it's because I was trying to stay out of the way so I could film it. I tried putting the camera on the other side of me over here, but it didn't look right, and I thought it would make me nauseous if I had to watch that. So I thought it might you guys too. I decided to do it this way. Oops, drop that pin. dropped it. I'm sure I'll find it later. All right. Open it up and lay this side down. There we go. Kept folding up. All right. We're done. One more down. Only 4 more to go on this quilt. I did get, if you're following that one, I did get the other quilt, the plaid quilt, the old man quilt I call it. I did get it laid out together. It is not pinned, and I decided I'm not going to quilt it. He has very sensitive skin, and I think all the threads on the back would bother him, so I'm going to tie it. If you're interested in pictures or even video maybe of that process, let me know. I will post them. Oh my gosh. I didn't bring y'all back with me. I ironed it without you. Sorry. Alright, so I ironed it open. There it is. It's called Box. We did it again. Like I said, we already did this one. But this is a 14-inch one, and it's going on, obviously, the Harry Potter quilt. Sorry, didn't mean to shake that. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you make it and love it. Please share pictures if you do. And I will see you all next time.